Hi there and hello everybody and welcome to the Love City Arts TV show and podcast. I'm Andre in the Flow, and this week we've got Stephanie Shapiro. She is a dance instructor and founder of Dance Well. It's an amazing organization based in New York City but services so many surrounding areas. I met her working some events in New York City and some conferences, and the light and energy just emanating off of us and the way we were bouncing off of each other while just standing, letting people in and out of rooms was unforgettable. And I'm so glad that Love City's finally grown to a place where I can invite people like Stephanie onto the air to talk to us about all the awesome things she's doing and the light she's giving to the community she serves. So thank you, Stephanie, for being here.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Good. It's been like, oh my goodness, like 2, 3, 4 years since I've seen you.
I know, it's been a long while.
Yeah, and your energy hasn't changed. Like, you're still bubbly and light, and it's just really cool to be back in your space. So, what do you create in the world artistically?
I create an environment where people feel good about their selves in a way through movement. Mm-hmm. So dance is such a general word. I actually work with a lot of partner dancing and also people who just want to come in and honestly, they don't know how to move at a party or a dance. And all of it's connected with their mindset and how they act outside. It's very interesting how while I'm teaching dance, whether it's a wedding couple or just a regular social, two people just learning to dance for fun, how when I'm explaining things, how it's connected to our everyday life.
Tell me about that. How is movement connected to our everyday life? Like, where's the through line in that?
Okay, so I'm going to take a couple for two people instead of just solo. You have to learn how to communicate with each other. So you're having a conversation without words, but it's very similar as if you were to have a conversation with words. So there's one leader and one follower. The leader asks a question. Then he has to wait for an answer, which is the follower's response. And it might not be what he expects, so therefore he has to go with that flow, which is exactly like life.
Yes, right? I get it. Yeah. I get it. Yeah, I mean, one thing I liked about what you just said was that you said the leader asks the question and then has to wait.
Yes.
And like a lot of times in life, we don't wait for the response. We just kind of, and that ends up with people falling over, right?
Yes.
Like, have you seen people in your space completely like have the bing aha moment where they get it and they're like, and it changes everything about how they're moving and how they're
100%. Well, so a lot of people forget that dance is just like walking. And we took, I don't remember how long it takes us to learn how to walk from a child, right? Yes. But we did it and we didn't fight it. And so when I bring them, I'm saying when you come off the streets, you walked into the studio, you actually already know how to dance. And you've got to let it go. Don't get caught up in your headspace that all of a sudden dance is this new foreign language. It is a language that you're actually familiar with that you just need help navigating through.
Wow.
It would be to me like Americans speaking English. We already know the language, but they have a few different dialects or slang words. So we need to navigate through that. And that's, to me, what dance is.
Wow. Tell me about your background in dance. Like, how did you come to love dance for yourself?
You know, I actually don't know when I was hit with the bug. I grew up in a house where my parents always played music, either soft rock or country music.
Okay.
And the very, very first dance I ever did was a polka in Texas. And I did not know how to dance. I'd never taken a dance lesson. I mean, I was part of the drill team, no big deal. And I had a guy, I remember this vividly. I had a guy who literally looped his finger through my belt loop, my back belt loop, and held on to me as he danced polka with me. I had no
Okay.
idea what I was doing. I just followed. Then because I was going to school in Texas, I learned how to two-step, not through class, just through going to social dance and a guy taking you and you danced. Cut short to, I lived in Israel. And in Israel, I joined a Israeli folk dance troupe that I was part of. And I learned, it's not partner dancing, it's team dancing in a circle.
Mm-hmm.
And so I became loving movement in general. It made me happy. And so when I came back to the States in 1987, I had to declare a major, and so I declared some strange major, right? And I saw a movement class, and I signed up for it, and it was for the acting department only. So I had to get special permission. So I got permission to take this one movement class, which then got me into acting.
Okay.
Which then brought me to New York.
Oh, wait. So you came to New York to be an actress?
Yes.
I did not know. Okay.
Yes. And it's strange because movement has always been in my life, no matter what I've done.
Right.
And so I come to New York in an acting school, the American Academy of Dramatic Arts. And yes. And I know, right? And so from there, it was in 2000, backstage, when it was really the paper, not online so much. There was an ad for swing and salsa lessons. And I was bored. I wanted to do something besides just looking for acting gigs and jobs to survive. And so I signed up for this swing and salsa classes in 2000. And literally the rest is history. I just fell in love with it.
Isn't it amazing how the flow of your life can completely like take winds and turns, and then you just land into that like happy place? You said that movement was something that was kind of always around, but you didn't realize that you could kind of work it in this way.
Yes, 100%. And also, I will never forget that I would have so many people, whether it was directors or other actor friends, that said, if you give up acting, you'll never find anything to make you as happy. And I can honestly say that teaching dance has surpassed what I felt when I was an actress.
Okay, so now we have to stop here and just put a little pin in that, because I think that's a really, really good nugget for the viewers and listeners. You're on your way to acting. You got all of these gremlins or people in your head, within and without, saying to you, there's nothing else like this. This is where your happy is. And then, surprise, universe, there's more.
Yes.
There's more. And I think that we have to leave the door open. I think that a lot of people feel that if they don't get their top tier dream, they're going to be miserable for the rest of their lives. And that's an agreement that we kind of make with ourselves, right? But if we can open a little bit of space just for the possibility of something, I always say this or better. I'm open to this. Right. Or better. And you're saying that the dancing has become better for you.
100%. 100%. I'm the type of person throughout my whole life, if I was working a job and I became unhappy for whatever reason, I would leave. And when I started teaching dance, I thought, there's no politics. Everything's going to be awesome. And unfortunately, or fortunately, I learned, or I grew up and learned, there's politics in everything in life.
Everything.
Everything.
It's so annoying, but it's what we have to do, right?
It is. And on top of all the politics, I love this job so much that I can't quit. I will not leave. I will just find ways around it, because it really does feed my soul.
Can you tell us about that feeling of having a fed soul as opposed to a hungry soul?
The fed soul for me is that no matter what I'm feeling when I'm walking in the streets of Manhattan, let me tell you, don't pass me in the streets of Manhattan. I'm like a bulldozer. Get out of my way. Get off your phone, whatever. The moment I get into the dance studio, and it's not even the studio, the moment I step into my class or I have the connection with my student, there's a light that fills up in me, and I feel light and happy. And there's an ebb and flow in that because, again, there are politics at the studio. So when I'm not busy teaching, I have to fight the darkness. Let's put it that way, light versus dark.
Yes.
Darkness because it's the people that you have to work with, or they schedule you instead of you getting your own work. And so when I step into a class, everything brightens up.
Yes.
And I remember that, and I remind myself of that every time I feel like I'm slipping down the rabbit hole.
Right. I heard an interview recently with Jordana Bernat, who is this amazing Twitter writer. Like if you're on Twitter or in that space, she writes these amazing affirmations and like encouraging posts like daily that are just amazing. And I listened to an interview from her, and she has caused me to write in all of my spaces, in my journal, a sticky note on the top of my computer, and all the spaces where I can sometimes get in the darkness related to the art. The question is, where is the love in this? And if you can find the love in every space, difficulty or not, it somehow lifts you up. You're dealing with your scheduling and all those type of things in the studio politics. And then what I just heard you say was something very comparable to her. Like, where's the love in this? Like, where in your true love is in the actual teaching of the dance.
Yes.
That's so good. What do you do when you find yourself to be stuck, like creatively blocked? How do you dig yourself out?
When I'm creatively blocked, I try to actually step away from everything and hang out with my dog.
Okay. What's your dog's name?
Belle.
Belle. Okay.
Yeah, she's turning 9 years old, the 27th of February.
And in human years, that's like,
I think 56.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So she's been with you for a minute.
Right? Yeah. And being with her because dogs, animals in general have this unconditional love, and they're in the moment. They're not thinking about tomorrow or yesterday. So she kind of reminds me of staying in the moment and not to overthink things. And then there's my sister. Younger sister, lives in Colorado. She constantly reminds me to stop worrying and stressing because I really can't control what's happening tomorrow. And she sounds a bit campy, but she's like, you can't worry about today because today's already gone. You've already started today. So it's
right. She's spot on. It's in progress already. Like you can't go back. No.
Exactly. And what happened in the past, it happened. You can't redo it. We don't have a reset button.
Right.
And you just keep trying to do better and stay positive and keep that in your focus.
Yes. One moment at a time, one baby moment at a time.
Exactly.
Is it serving you well? Is that working for you?
It does 90% of the time.
We'll take it.
I'll take it.
We'll take 90. We will. What any upcoming projects or workshops that you're working on that you'd like to tell everybody about?
Is it August? Yes. In August, I will have a choreography class, which will be to La Mer, sung by a French singer.
Okay.
Usually it's Beyond the Sea, and Bobby Darin usually sings it, or one of those greats. And it's going to be a combination of swing and foxtrot, and it's going to be very artistic. The image is that we are set up in a French restaurant.
Okay.
And the men will be draped in a cloth, and they will either be a lamppost, a chair, or a table. And they're going to be still, while the women, who have gorgeous dresses on underneath, have like an apron or smock over it. And they're cleaning up the restaurant, and they're dreaming. And what they're dreaming of is a handsome princess, and the lamp comes to life, the table comes to life, and then they become men and they dance, and it's awesome.
Oh man, it sounds really fantastic. Make sure that I get an invite. I want to see the finished product. I really do.
Definitely.
And then you're teaching classes regularly, throughout the weeks. Where can people find out more about you?
Thursdays at 7:30, Advanced Basics Lindy Hop, and then I teach privates the rest of the time.
That's cool. And they can find that online at your website.
www.dancewellny.com.
Yes, you stuck the landing. I love it. Yeah. Thank you for being here. I always end every episode with the same 3 questions. They're fill in the blanks. So just tell us what comes up from your heart, Stephanie Shapiro. Love is?
Love is inspiring. Yes.
It really is. Joy is?
Dance.
Freedom is?
Freedom is exhilarating. It's just exhilarating.
Yeah, especially when you know it.
Yes.
Especially when you know it.
Yes.
Well, Stephanie, I'm grateful to know you, and I'm so grateful that you came on to today's episode, and just keep all of your light and your flow moving in the world. It's really awesome to witness, and I think to witness joy is a gift as well. So thank you.
I agree. Thank you. And we'll be in touch.
Yes, we will.